Good morning, and welcome to Daily Disciplines. In discussing procrastination, putting things off, our emphasis has been primarily on the possibility of the developing of an habitual way of acting. And that's where the most serious consequences come. But if we begin with little things, habits begin to form. And so the question I think I wanted to address today is, can procrastination be modified? Can it be handled? Is it going to take over my life? Can I live without procrastination? Well, I think there are two or three things that we need to understand if that indeed is possible at all. One of them is to understand the power of habits. Some of the experts tell us that 99.9% of what we do because of habits. We habitually do things day in and day out. We get up a certain way, we start the day a certain way, we start work a certain way, we do all sorts of things just out of habit. And so if we do not acknowledge the fact that habits indeed can control our lives, then the habit pattern of procrastination can take hold, begin to move us into an experience of life, the consequences of which we do not want. And it'll be because of a habit that we did not recognize or appreciate its power until we were already locked in. So recognize that habits of procrastination start small, insignificant, but they do indeed someday, for many, become a controlling factor in life. I think another thing that we need to recognize if procrastination is ever to be modified in our lives and some semblance of control taken over it, is to acknowledge when we are in the round to it. A good friend, Zig Ziglar, I think he was the first guy that I ever heard say, you need to get around to it. So Zig Ziglar had these little round pieces of wood, and on it was printed, round to it. And he would pass those out to people in his seminars and say, now you never have an excuse for not getting right to it. Get things going, because you'll never again honestly be able to say, well, I'll do it when I get around to it. He said, because you got around to it and you got it from me. Well, I'm not going to give you a round to it today. You could just draw a circle on your sheet of paper, taking notes wherever you are, and write the words round to it. And then you'd have one. But more importantly, I think you and I need to acknowledge when we are in the midst of procrastination. We do know ourselves fairly well, and we can come to the point where we recognize when we are procrastinating. And then determine if you desire to change. If you don't desire to change, if you think procrastination is not a problem, then all of this discussion is fairly useless to you. It is not until we come to the point where we say, I really want to change, that we will indeed begin to do that. So, here's the thought for today. Do you procrastinate? Do you recognize when you're there? Do you realize it's becoming a habit? And do you want to change? If so, it can be changed. We'll talk again soon.